So today, in honor of the 25th anniversary of Family Guy, I wanted to review the first episode, which premiered after the Super Bowl, actually, which is kind of unusual now. It doesn't happen a ton. That used to be what the post-Super Bowl slot would be. It's actually the Wonder Years premiered after the Super Bowl, the first episode. The A-Team did. Certain big successful shows. There were a lot of shows that were not big and successful. And I guess Family Guy sort of was that in its first initial run. I did not see this when it aired after the Super Bowl. I was probably being a teen listening to my Discman or something. So I have no clue what I was doing, but I didn't watch it then. However, watching this episode was interesting. But what this episode is Peter Griffin goes out for a night of drinking with his friends. He has a job at a toy factory as quality control and or to make sure kid or safety inspector or something. He got drunk the night before, so he was very sleepy and hungover. And then because he did that, a lot of these dangerous toys got out and they had to fire him. But he didn't want to tell Lois, so he signed up for welfare, and then the welfare office ends up not sending him $150 a week. They send him $150,000 a week, and he's suddenly very rich because of a accounting error with the welfare office. I think watching this now, I haven't watched older Family Guy in a bit. I've watched random episodes and they're fine, but watching these ones, it took me back to when these episodes were new. And when these episodes were new, I very much remember being shocked at all the cutaways, thinking it was amazing, being like, this is the greatest thing in the world. And like often it would like catch you off guard all the time. Watching it now, in the 25 years later, I'm so used to this format that none of it feels unexpected. Now, granted, I had seen this episode a ton of times, so I knew every joke, and this is one I liked a lot, so I did that. But I will say particular gags in this really work. The Stewie Lois thing is interesting because I'm never sure. I think at the beginning, and I remember not being sure if other people could talk to Stewie. It's like one of those things like, like people weren't sure if Wolverine actually had claws coming out of his actual hands or if they were gloves kind of thing. And it's like not a thing the creators came up with that the fans do. Stewie is like kind of a different kind of, he's like a side plot character in this. But the main thing is about Peter and welfare and stuff like that. I do remember, like, since I didn't watch this on the Super Bowl, but I'd heard from so many people, and I think Ian told me this once, that like when they watched the Kool-Aid Man break into the court, they fell on the ground laughing. I do remember the first time I saw that, I was like laughing hysterically. I didn't have the like shock post Super Bowl thing, which is probably more fun because you're all like watch a Super Bowl and you're all hopped up on junk food and stuff. But I did remember watching it later. See, Family Guy used to, I think it really hit its stride with me. Like I watched some of them on Sunday, but like when I'd randomly watch that 70s show, it would always be on afterwards, and that's where I discovered it back in the day. But I did like the one Family Guy joke in this that I liked, where Peter's in jail and he goes, "Oh man, they're right about don't drop the soap in jail. I look like an idiot." And it's like that the joke is that he has butterfingers. It's not. That was funny because it is an actual diversion in it, as well as he does the Von Trapp Family Singers joke in a different way, but the same reference to the scene that he did at the Oscars, which I thought that's very funny. But it is weird watching this now because I do remember when I was like a teenager and this felt exciting and different, and it just does not have that vibe anymore. It is still fun and funny, and I still laughed at it, and I think the cutaways though are aggressive in terms of what they're doing. It feels like the show is written like I don't give a shit. I'm gonna do as many cutaways and have all these gags, and it doesn't matter if it connects. We're just gonna be funny, and I do think that really works in this. I can understand like if this is your first family. I mean, it's a lot of people's first Family Guy. Why it made you like love the show, because it did feel like, whoa, where's this coming from? What's this? And like I didn't expect this. Like one of the things that makes a comedy explode and take over is like it feels so unexpected. But the problem is with comedy, when it becomes unexpected, is eventually what was unexpected becomes expected, and then the freshness and newness to it goes away. That doesn't mean this isn't funny. I'm not trying to say it's not. It is very funny, and I do really like it actually. But it is weird seeing it now. It felt very different. The other thing I should mention is Lacey Chabert is the voice of Meg in this. who would go on to be in Mean Girls. At the time, I think they cast Mila Kunis, as Meg because she was a Fox star, and they're on Fox. But Lacey Chabert was also a Fox star because she was Party 5 was still running at the time. She did decide not to do this because she was doing schoolwork and Party 5 and Family Guy, and walked away after the first season. But I don't like her version as much as Mila Kunis. I think Mila Kunis is a lot better with Meg, to be honest with you. But whatever. I think this is a really funny episode. I like it sort of, I don't know. One thing I like about this episode is it both gets like how sort of shitty it would be to take that kind of money from the welfare office, but how immediately you'd be like, whose fault is it really? It's like it's actually pretty good at getting the line on that. And I sort of get like how an empire was born after this. I do remember, I think a Simpsons episode aired after that, but it's kind of interesting because it feels like Fox, both as they ran it, lost complete faith in it, but also gave it the greatest lead-in ever. And I totally get wanting to give this the greatest lead-in ever because it does feel fresh and different, but also feels, it's a family animated sitcom. How different is that ultimately? I do get why this was so explosive and different, and it was nice being reminded of why we all liked Family Guy in the first place. And as we're talking about Seth MacFarlane again, with the TED Show and him writing, kind of reminded why he exploded in such the way he did, because by the end of this first season, everyone in my high school loved Family Guy. And this is, the Fox years, not before Adult Swim, but I get like if you stumbled upon this, it's really hard to look away from it and not watch it. It really sucks you in. And I think if anything, like that's why Family Guy became such it is, because the cutaways happen in such an aggressive way. You're never sure what's going to come up next. And even though I'd seen it, I forgot like the soap bit, like the weird Aunt Jemima thing in the beginning. But like there's all sorts of like weird bits in this that you're never like, or the Joni Loves Chachi joke at the end. You just like so many weird things that it keeps you on the edge, that it makes you intrigued on what's happening more. And I sort of like was reminded of the appeal of the show that I sort of lost touch with over the years, and kind of made me come back and appreciate why it's still going and could have fans all this time based on this the great start that Family Guy had with its pilot.